Muscle belly assessment is an easy way to level up your shoulder ultrasound. It's not routinely performed, but is something that I regard as essential for multiple different reasons. It's important in the context of tendon tears, as it can reveal important prognostic information and even be a contraindicator for surgical repair. Traditionally, this is done using the tangent sign method in MRI. A line is drawn from the spine of the scapula to the coracoid process. If the muscle is convex above the line, there is no muscle atrophy. If the muscle dips to the line, there is mild atrophy. And if it dips below the line, we have moderate and then, of course, severe atrophy. And we can apply this same principle to ultrasound. With the supraspinatus muscle in short axis, we can see the intramuscular tendon, and we're looking for good muscle bulk above that intramuscular tendon. And then we can also appreciate moderate to severe atrophy. The other way to do it is to look at supraspinatus in long axis. Now, supraspinatus is a bipennate muscle. As the muscle atrophies, the most superficial muscle is replaced by fat, and therefore it loses its bipennate configuration. Muscle belly assessment is also important when there are no tendon tears, as this can allow us to diagnose otherwise occult neural pathologies. In this case, both supra and infra tendons were intact, but we can appreciate fatty atrophy within the muscle bellies, and this suggests an abnormality of the suprascapular nerve, or a brachial neuritis, which is also called Parsonage-Turner syndrome. Here is another case where we can see marked atrophy of both supra and infra muscles compared to the unaffected side, consistent with a Parsonage-Turner syndrome. In this example, we can see fatty atrophy within infraspinatus only. Supraspinatus is normal, and this suggests that the nerve is also normal as it passes through the suprascapular notch and becomes abnormal at the spinoglenoid notch. Now, most commonly, this is due to a paralabral cyst pressing the nerve at this location, and this is why we have changes isolated to infraspinatus only. Axillary nerve abnormalities or quadrilateral space syndrome can also be diagnosed on ultrasound if we are assessing the muscle of teres minor. To do this, I use the origin of the long head of the triceps to help delineate infraspinatus muscle above and teres minor below. This is also how I identified teres minor. I find the intramuscular tendon of teres minor, turn on that, and then follow that back to its insertion. Now, nothing goes wrong with the teres minor tendon, but we will see changes within the muscle. Teres minor is innervated by the axillary nerve, and if we see fatty atrophy within teres minor and or the deltoid, then this can suggest an axillary nerve issue or quadrilateral space syndrome.
There are other benefits to muscle belly assessment as well. This was the case post-trauma, x-rays had cleared any fracture, and the rotator cuff was entirely normal until I got to the assessment of the supraspinatus muscle. Here we could see striking edema within the muscle, periosteal edema along the spine of the scapula, which ultimately led to the identification of a small scapular fracture.
So make sure you are assessing those muscle bellies. Thanks for listening, guys. Like and subscribe for more content.